If you grew up with a narcissistic parent, you had one of the worst possible childhoods there is. From the moment you were born, you met your biggest bully. The person that was supposed to show you your inherent worth decided that they didn't like you before you could even speak. They made it their mission to let you know that your place in the world is beneath them. They make your life a living hell, but they aren't the ones that actually cause the most damage to you. And I know just how crazy that sounds, because what do you mean the person that's literally harming me isn't the one to actually cause me the most hurt? Who on earth can possibly cause more harm than them? It's the other parent. The one that never called you all those mean things. The one that told you that they believed in you. That's the parent that breaks you. And if you're extremely confused right now, then welcome to the club. I was just as confused as you are, but the sooner you understand how your trauma actually works, the faster you can actually break out of the cycle of traumatizing yourself again and again every single time you interact with your family. And you can finally start to protect yourself emotionally so you don't feel awful about yourself in every aspect of your life, because it's near impossible to feel confident at your job or feel like you can create healthy relationships when you feel like a bad person in your family, right? So how is it possible that we get hurt more by the people who we feel safer with? It has everything to do with the complex nature of trauma itself. I want you to think about when your narcissistic parent came home. What do? You immediately hid in your room, right? You made yourself so small so that they don't make you their target, because when they do, they will find something to just verbally cut you with. So you hide, and when you can't hide, your whole body tightens whenever you're around them, right? You brace for impact. But as a child, you need your parents for love, for guidance, for safety. But you were robbed of that from one parent. So when you got warmth from the other parent, you emotionally hung on to them for dear life. This parent never said anything mean or hurtful to you. They never put you down. They were sweet to you. You felt like you could be yourself around them. You could breathe around them. You almost feel indebted to them for being so nice to you. And the most important thing is that you know that they love you, unlike your narcissistic parent. But that's where the danger lies, because it's not so rosy around them either, right? There's this sinking, empty feeling you get when they don't say anything, when they see you being hurt, when they know you're being hurt. When they wipe away your tears in absolute silence, never really acknowledging the cruelty that's just happening to you. Or worst of all, when they tell you not to be disrespectful to the person who has never shown you an ounce of compassion in their life. But you were a child. You didn't know how to make sense of that dreadful, empty feeling inside, so you just stuff it away because the only emotion that's really gripping you is the fear of the narcissistic parent. In fact, you see the same fear in the safer parent too, right? You can see that they're also terrified of the narcissist's treatment. So in a way, you see both of you as on the same side. And this is precisely why they have the ability to hurt you more than anyone else. Because you're not on the same side, but you think you are. You see their love and affection and efforts and fear towards the narcissist. So you want to make the better parent happy. You want to make them proud. And you believe that every word they say, every expectation they have of you is coming from a place of care for you. But here's the reality. When you have a narcissist in your life, you abide by their rules. And the most important rule of all is that they come first. So yes, the better parent loves you, but as long as they're still in a relationship with the narcissist, they will always put them first. And this is exactly what this dreadful, empty feeling has been trying to tell you all this while. That the better parent is still living under the narcissist's rule, despite the fact that, yes, they genuinely love you. And how are you supposed to even make sense of this? How can someone both love you and see you as less? How can they want what's best for you, yet support someone who taunts you and puts you down? It's extremely hard for anyone to even face, much less when you're a child who's struggling to feel some sense of safety in your home. So you only focus on the good side. You listen to your rules, you give them everything they ask for, and you believe their words if they tell you that you're in the wrong. But what you don't realize is that you're leaving yourself wide open to the same narcissistic control that flows from the narcissist parent to the safer parent to you. And you know this flow of control is happening when it doesn't matter what age you are, the better parent always expects full access to your life, to know every single detail, because they're family. They expect you to do things in a very respectful way, which is a bunch of random and very specific things, like if you don't call them a certain number of times a week. They expect you to never talk back or disagree with what they're saying. When they remind you of everything they've done for you, anytime you voice anything you're unhappy about. And let's not forget how they never ask you how you think or how you feel. I mean, seriously, think about it. When was the last time they asked you, how are you feeling, or what do you think? So all this time, you think you're protecting yourself from the narcissist hiding and keeping quiet around them. But you've been getting destroyed by them anyway, through the person that you trusted the most. And all this while, your conscious mind has not been aware of this, but your subconscious mind certainly has. It's why you feel anxious all the time, why you doubt every idea you have at work, why you can't truly be yourself around the people that you love. These aren't random things that you're suffering from because you're broken. It's your subconscious that's reacting to the fact that the narcissist still has control over your life. Now, this precise dynamic will follow you everywhere in life. The people who hurt you the most are always the ones who you know love you and are trying. Because we know they're not bad people, so we don't protect ourselves from them. And this is why you see people in abusive relationships where everyone just wonders, like, why don't they leave them? Well, most of the time, it's because they do see the good parts, the parts that's trying, that they're not a bad person, just really unhealthy. And what happens when you try to stand up to unhealthy people or try to place boundaries with them? They will kick and scream, and that you're all sorts of terrible. You're unkind, you're ungrateful, you're selfish, you're cruel. Some might even call you the narcissist for putting your feelings first for the first time. And this will break you into pieces, because this is coming from someone you love and you know loves you. They might even say it. Don't you know how much I love you? Don't you know how much I've done for you? Have you forgotten everything? And oh my goodness, it will ache. So you will cave in because you've been so used to sacrificing your self-respect for their feelings that it almost seems like that's just how you show them that you love them, by letting them do whatever they want. And you hate yourself for doing it every single time. But you keep doing it. Because the alternative, being seen as the bad person, just feels worse than death sometimes. So you live your entire life as a prisoner, not to the narcissist who screamed at you, but to the person who wiped your tears and told you that they loved you. And I know you know this isn't a way to live. So you need to tap into that dreadful, empty feeling that you get. That feeling that's fighting so hard at the back of your mind to be seen. And it's saying, look, I know they love you, but they're stuck in their unhealthy ways and they are trying to control you. And they don't even realize it themselves. And the only way out is to do one thing that terrifies you the most. Let the people who love you think that you are the bad person. And this will be one of the hardest things you will ever do, because all the voices in your head will be screaming at you that you're everything the narcissist said that you were. But here's what they don't tell you about healing from family trauma. You can't just willpower your way out of a lifetime of psychological conditioning. You can't just push your way through and allow yourself to be the bad person. You need to understand exactly how your mind was shaped by these dynamics, how your entire worldview was built around keeping these people happy. Because right now, you don't even know where their voice ends and where yours begins. And that's exactly the work that I do with people one-on-one. We don't just talk about your trauma. We map exactly how it's controlling your life right now. How it shows up in your relationships as people-pleasing, as conflict avoidance. How it shows up in the workplace as isolating behavior and never speaking your ideas. We'll uncover how all this while, you've still been living under their rules without even realizing it. Because until you see exactly how deep their programming goes, you'll keep caving every time someone you love gets upset with you. Because you'll always struggle to break out of that good person image that you've been forced to carry. You'll default to the self-sacrifice and convince yourself that that's what good people do. But you don't deserve to live a life where love feels like walking on eggshells. You don't deserve to spend your days managing other people's emotions while your own gets ignored. You don't deserve to feel guilty every single time you want something for yourself. And you deserve to know that real healthy love doesn't come with a price tag of self-respect. And when you finally start choosing yourself and they start losing their minds, which they will, you'll have someone who's seen this pattern 1,000 times to remind you of the power dynamics at play and show you exactly how you're not a bad person at all. You're just the first person in your family to refuse to be controlled by love. We'll dive deep into the understanding of how your mind works along with how the other people's mind works. Because once you can read someone's psychology, you'll never again mistake their dysfunction for your deficiency. You'll see why certain people trigger you even when they're being nice, and you'll finally trust yourself to do what's right for you and intuitively understand why your parents' negative reactions have everything to do with their own unhealed trauma and not your worth. Because trauma recovery isn't just about internal discovery, it's about understanding our external world as well. And only when both go hand in hand can you see remarkable and lasting change in how you live your life and how you feel inside. So if you're tired of sacrificing yourself and want to create relationships where you can actually feel seen, there's a link in the description to book a call with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one.